Okay, we are headed to Williams Lake. This is near Cathedral Peak, one of the 14ers in Colorado. And right now I'm on Interstate 70 driving through Glenwood Canyon. I've always been amazed at the amount of engineering and design to build an interstate through this extremely narrow canyon with 2,000-foot walls right next to the raging Colorado River. I just passed the Hanging Lake exit. It used to be, you'd see signs saying that exit was always packed full of vehicles, but now you have to have a reservation in order to go hike up to that lake. But that's besides the point. A few miles here, I'll exit off at Glenwood Springs, and we will head on to the trailhead for the lake, Williams Lake. I'm on Capitol Creek Road. Gotta go about 8 miles to get to the trailhead. Now, I've been on this trailhead twice before, but I did it to climb Cathedral Peak, which is one of the Colorado 14ers. And I'm going to be initially starting on that trail, but then I'm going to be spurring off, and then that's when we're going to head for Williams Lake. I think I should be mostly in the woods, so I might get rained out upon. It's typical this time of year for the clouds to build up real fast in the thunderstorms, so I just gotta keep an eye out for it. Well, we just got off the pavement, 3.5 miles or so before I get to the trailhead. Now I do remember there's a lower parking lot, and then past that the road gets really bad. It said that there's some grading going on this road, so I might encounter a grader on the way up here. Add some more rock to this road. Okay, so this is the lower trailhead, and I've usually had to stop down there and park just because this road up above here gets worse, but if they graded it, I might be able to get to the upper trailhead at this point. Well, despite being a little bit muddy and sliding all over, I am surprised at what they did to this road. They really widened it out. It used to be just this 2-track that was you needed high clearance to get around. Is that Colorado Fish and Wildlife, I think? But yeah, you can pretty much drive all the way to the trailhead now, I think. Maybe speaking a little bit too soon, because I see, oh no. Okay, yeah, 4x4 and high clearance vehicles recommended. Okay, I spoke too soon. This is what I remember now. This road being this like 2-track, narrow, and just gone to shit. Man, look at all these aspens. Just a sea of them. Well, it looks like the very summit of it is a little bit shrouded in the clouds. Oh man, it's my first time seeing it in 11 years. It is so nice to be back in this area. Got a camper over there, somebody from Pennsylvania, Illinois. And I'm just gonna take this spot right here. Well, this is what I've done in the past. This is a super beautiful hike. Capitol Lake is amazing, and then you camp here, and then the next day you do Capitol Peak. You could do 2 or 3 days for an outing. But for me, I'm just going to be going here to Williams Lake. Oh, and there's a picture of Capitol Lake right there with the peak. So that's the main trail for Capitol Peak. I'm going to take this dirt road up to the end here, and that's where I'll catch the trail for Williams Lake. So this road leading to Williams Lake, the gate was open. Just looking at it, I don't think I'd want to take my Jeep up this. Huh. This app identified this as a sticky geranium. Yeah, sticky geranium. Right across the road here. It's like its own natural bouquet of flowers. I have identified this before. That's beautiful. That's what it says. It's just the scientific name. I'm sure there's a common name. And then we got lupins, of course. There's lots of lupins. So I don't know if it'll identify the exact species. It's more of a New World plant. I don't think it's found anywhere in Eurasia. Got me a bear. And he's just kind of staring at me, looking in my direction. I'm not going to zoom in at the moment. He's just kind of watching me there. I got my bear spray just in case. He's obviously not very he's not shy. Where I came from, starting to drizzle just a little bit. Look at all these claw marks, presumably from a bear way in the past. Oh, there's Capitol Peak. Its summit is finally poking out from the clouds. You know that big bouquet of flowers that identified the scientific name? Now that I think about it, I bet those are columbines. Because that would make sense for this state, being the state flower and all. Okay, and look at that. Bear warning, which I saw a bear. So this is Hell Roaring Trail number 1960. I've been seeing a lot of arbor glyphs on the Aspens. The oldest one I saw was dated 1950. JFK 69. Well, if that was John F. Kennedy, he would have been 6 years deceased already. Nobody's up here, which means I should have this all to myself. So here's the boundary of the Maroon Bell Snowmass Wilderness, and this little spur trail, very short, will take me to Hardscrabble Lake. So we're going to check that out right now. Okay, tiny little lake. This is Hardscrabble Lake. Some good isolated camping spots nearby. We're now back on the main trail, heading to Williams Lake. So we've reached a split here. I don't see any signs, but I believe this is the way to Williams Lake. This way is still that Roaring Fork Trail. And we're gonna start veering off. Still got about 0.64 miles as the crow flies. So probably a little bit more before I get to the lake. Still got a little snow patch over there. Pretty steady flowing creek we got here. We're coming up to Williams Lake. This is the lake that inspired John Denver to write the song Rocky Mountain High after he went on a camping trip with some friends. Not sure exactly where he would have camped, but it could have been right here for all I know. Beautiful set of cliffs across the way. And this was probably over 50 years ago now that Denver and his friends were here. And just a lot of fluffy clouds. Part of me really wants to climb up there, get kind of an overview, but I'm pretty sure there wouldn't really be much of a view, so all the mountains are shrouded. These clouds are really moving quite fast though. Oh, nice and cold. I could probably jump in, but I'd get out real quick. This is definitely an icy mountain lake. Temperature outside isn't too warm either. It's maybe 60 degrees. And there's just a distant sound of thunder. The main storm is just to the south of me. I think I'm missing most of it. It's kind of hovering around Cathedral Peak. But very calm, peaceful, serene. I can see how this would inspire Denver to write his hit, Rocky Mountain High. I never really appreciated much of John Denver when I lived in Colorado. I didn't even really know or think much about him. I just knew he was some folk rock singer from the 70s. And ever since I left, I've kind of enjoyed a lot of his songs. But Rocky Mountain High is one of those songs that every single line that I've read up on pretty much summarizes my whole time that I lived here, just about to a T. The only thing that is inaccurate would be the very first line. He was born in the summer of his 27th year. For me, that was my 20th year, give or take. And I'd say I spent most of my early to mid-20s living that Rocky Mountain High, climbing the mountains, seeing the bedazzling skies, just the incredible nature. I mean, I was all over this state, even the plains, even the western front. There was just something really beautiful about it. But now it's been many years since I left, and this is kind of my first time back in 8 years, and it is nice to be back, I will say that. I miss these huge storms, and I miss the scenery out here. I can't say I really miss the people. That is one thing that the old timers, not everybody liked Denver. The old timers complained that his popularity brought the onset of everybody wanting to move to Colorado, and places like Aspen used to be just a podunk little town back in the 70s. And now you look at it, it's pretty much unaffordable. It's just very high end. The class of people too, it's all the rich millionaires and billionaires who pretty much come in their private jets. So it's changed a lot probably from his time. I'm sure the view from this lake hasn't though. Probably no different than when he was here. At least I could still go to places like this and expect to find nobody. The trailhead, of course, had a number of vehicles, and they were all heading for Capitol Lake and possibly Cathedral Peak. And I've been there, done that twice. And I will say, I love the Elk Mountains. That's what this whole range is part of. The Maroon Bells, Castle Conundrum, Snowmass, Capitol, Pyramid Peak, all those 14ers. This is still really a place that brings back a lot of nostalgia for me. I just got a lot of good memories of meeting people and climbing with friends and living everything that John Denver inspired out of everybody who came to visit these mountains for the first time, or any mountains for that matter. I'm grateful to spend a day out here. I wish the weather was a little bit nicer. I'd be probably climbing the mountains, but I wanted to make it a stop. I wanted to make sure that I made it here. Just that way I saw what this lake looked like. And see what inspired John Denver to write the songs that he did. And it's kind of a nice moment to be out here. Yep, we're gonna head on down now. Get back to the trailhead for Capitol Creek. Back at the end of the road. Those Capitol and Daly, I don't remember how you pronounce that mountain. So here goes that bouquet again. There's a little bumblebee just taking a nap in there. These have definitely got to be columbines. The two state songs for Colorado, one of them is Rocky Mountain High, and then the other one is Where the Columbines Grow. Well, time to head on down. Hopefully I don't bump into anybody on the way up. Well, I didn't get to see their grader, but this is what the Pitkin County water trucks look like. I wonder how much they make here. Oh, it's got one of those swap off. It's kind of like the truck I drive. You can load it up like a swap truck. Take it off and then put on some other dump bed. Well, considering Pitkin County is home to Aspen, it's probably one of the wealthiest counties in the state, but that doesn't mean that the government employees are paid that much. I'm sure they're paid a decent amount, but I don't know. Good old Highway 82. Get to go through these tunnels again.